searching for the perfect love. You can purchase it, you perfect love. Don't be searching for the perfect love unless the love you searching for someone inside your soul. Why you searching for the perfect love? You can purchase it, you perfect love. Don't be searching for the perfect love unless the love you searching for someone inside your soul. Dear, it's some things I never told you. First time we got down, you didn't ask me.
Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome to Women in Hip Hop Wednesdays. This is the podcast where we honor, we chronicle, we interview, we celebrate the women who birthed, who continue to birth and build and nourish. Get your shit, Coco! Oh my God, the culture, hip hop culture. I am your hostess with the mostest, absolutely, Coco Payla, and clearly I have a pan somewhere in this studio because I did not know that was going to happen. But anyway, today is actually a short and sweet episode. We were scheduled to interview DJ KK47, the People's DJ, the founder of Girls DJ 2, and we will DJ. Well, I guess I will. Maybe that's a Freudian slip. But we will interview her. But she had a last minute emergency. So definitely keep her in your thoughts, in your prayers, send her good energy. And we will see her when she arrives. So what I decided, instead of an interview, there's a whole piece that I've been preparing for months, y'all. And I worked on it, but it just really wasn't at the place where I wanted it to be for y'all. And I'm learning, the more that I do this, the more I realize that this podcast puts me in a position to really be a journalist. And that means that I need to be able to cite my sources, that I need to speak not just from how I feel about a situation, but from a place of just nuance and respect for the culture and the people in it. And that just takes like a little bit more care and thought to figure out how to tell the stories that are mine to tell, how to honor the stories that haven't been told, and how to acknowledge the dynamics and stories that haven't been told that maybe aren't mine to tell, and how to differentiate between when it is and when it isn't. But this is the second Wednesday of the month, which means actually it is Her Story in the Pages. We always do Her Story in the Pages second Wednesdays, but we were going to have KK47. So I was like, let's do that on a different day. But this is actually going to work out because this is our usual slot. I want to flash the book one more again. This is God Save the Queens, The Essential History of Women in Hip Hop, written by Kathy Iandoli. And we are actually wrapping up the first act, part one of this book. And there's one final part of it. We will get into Act 2, which I'll tell you about that in a moment. Next year, there's about 24 chapters left between Act 2 and Act 3. So what I think I'm going to do is do a bi-monthly reading of Her Story in the Pages. I know y'all have been asking for weekly readings, but I am really on a slow tip these days. I really am, as I sidle up to my big age of 39, headed towards 40, slow and steady is more of my vibe. Quality over quantity is more of my vibe. Less is more of my vibe. And so slowing things down so that we can digest them, so I can digest them, so we can be present is really important to me. However, if somehow things shift and my time opens up to do a weekly reading with y'all, I was thinking like it could be sweet to do like Monday mornings or something like that, or like Monday evenings, like give us something to look forward to on Monday. Because, Mondays can be rough for us, especially those of us that have to like be in the workforce and in that machine. So, like, maybe it could be like a Monday night reading on Zoom. That could be cute, actually. Hmm. Okay. I have a class Monday evenings, but maybe we could do like a late night book club or an early morning book club could help us look forward to it. I don't know, but let me think about it. All that being said, we're not going to get into Act 2 and Act 3 of this book and finish this book until 2026. But the final portion of this book is an interlude called The Class of '88 photo. For those of y'all who already have yours, you have it on Kindle, you bought it, you checked it out at the library, you harass your librarian every week and ask them to get this book, order this book in. You went to a independent Black woman, LGBTQ plus, immigrant owned bookstore and bought your copy. You went on to Harper's, I want to say Harper Bazaar, but I think it's called Harper Press. Kathy, please don't kill me, girl. I wrote down the perfect link. But I'll put down the link, the best link to purchase this. Oh, y'all can only see my neck. This is this is cute. Is it giving? Just the neck, just the head, just the high top, just the shoulders. Okay, I might have to do extra shimmies then if that's all y'all got. I'm gonna have to maybe hit some. Okay, let me stop. Shoulder bounces. All right. So whatever, however you're reading this right now, um, take it out. If you're just reading along with me because you don't have the book yet, that's fine. That's perfect. You could close your eyes. If you're just getting home from work on the East Coast of North America, it is 6:06 p.m. If you are driving home Central Time, 5 o'clock, and you got me in your headphones or something like that, the YouTube is streaming in your headphones or in your car. Good and good job. If you don't have a traditional 9 to 5 type job and you just doing your thug thizzle somewhere in along your day, or you're getting ready for a night shift, shout out to you. If it's 3 o'clock p.m. and you delivering packages on the West Coast of North America, you got your earbuds in, all good. Wherever you are, if you're rewatching this, doing the replay later on, days, months, years, or just hours after we have a broadcasted, right? I need to come up with a station name, don't y'all think? Like, I really have this fantasy of like being a real ass rapping DJ on WBLS. Let me just put that out into the universe so that when it happens, we can like timestamp it and come back and be like, this motherfucking Delulu ass Coco Payla called that shit into existence. But all that being said, I'm going to get into this interlude. It's a very short, 4 pages, short and sweet. I'll talk to y'all about the print, and then I have to skate to Manhattan to go to community choir. Okay, so the class of '88 photo. 30 years ago, Paper Magazine hired Janet Beckman. I can never tell if it's Jeanette or Janet. Janet Beckman to take a photo of the female rappers on the scene in 1988 for a class of '88 feature. Beckman's friends had started Paper in 1984, highlighting all the popular trends on the downtown New York City scene. Beckman shot for Paper during the publication's first 5 years of existence. And considering her work with hip hop artists, her coverage of this growing phenomenon of women on the mic was destiny. The photo was intended to showcase the most promising female rappers in New York, along with the singer Millie Jackson. Millie was known for her edgy songs and performances and had toured with Roxanne Shante. Perhaps she was added because, like the rest of the women in the room, she was causing a stir among the men in the music industry with her less than timid vibe. We all met at this Mexican restaurant in Soho, Beckman recalls. A lot of the girls came with their boyfriends, and the guys were eventually asked to leave so the shoot could take place without them distracting the girls. So it was just a room full of women, and everybody was chatting. It was a great atmosphere. The photo includes rivals Roxanne Shante and Sparky D, along with MC Light, Miss Melody, wife of KRS-One at the time, MC Peaches, and Yvette Money, known for her song Yvette's Revenge, a response record to LL Cool J's Dear Yvette. There was also Sweet Tea, Toy Jackson, Sing Q of Finesse and Sing Q, and Millie Jackson. Sparky D's two dancers were there as well, bookending the sides of the photo. The work is arranged like a real classroom photo where the front row of women are seated with another row standing behind them. Millie Jackson is posted in the middle, flexing her arms and sticking out her tongue. Everyone else appears to be having a good time, looking noticeably happy in the picture. Did they love each other? Probably not, but they all knew what that photo was about. We all went into the room. We all spoke together. Janet took the picture. Sparky says, we all knew it was business. That's the one thing back in the day. It's easy for us to go into the room. There wasn't noticeable drama, but you knew it was tension. No chaos happened that day, but per Sparky, the battle for the upper hand came down to their outfits. I had a Gucci dress on, and my two dancers had on Fendi and Louis Vuitton. Sing Q was also sporting a Fendi outfit. We knew who we were. We believed in ourselves, and we knew we were going to be the flyest ones there, Sparky says of herself and her dancers. We still came in there like, yeah, we're the shit. It's us. Her opponent didn't arrive with any delusions of grandeur or expecting to lead with a new squad. Roxanne Shante knew that they wasn't really her friends, and she wasn't really my friend. I knew we weren't going to fight or anything. Still, Sparky D and Roxanne Shante didn't speak to each other that day. The irony of the class of '88 photo is that soon as 1988 closed out and 1989 began, a whole other group of girls were coming up in New York City and beyond. Salt and Pepper, though not included in the photo, had already been making significant strides, as well as MC Light, who just made the class of '88 cut. Light, along with Miss Melody, made history as a part of the release of the Stop the Violence movement's collaborative song, Self-Destruction. 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 Okay, sorry. My old heads know. All right. As a means to stop the spread of violence within hip hop and the Black community. The song was the first #1 single ever on the Billboard Hot Rap Songs chart, staying at the top for 10 straight weeks. More talent would enter the scene shortly thereafter, especially as the reign of Roxanne Shante came to a close. But for some of us, we feel like it never ended, okay? The photo is monumental though, for placing a group of women in rap together in one big photo to show just how many were out there. I'm sorry, y'all, I'm getting it together. Even if some faces were missing, It was one of the first and presumably last times that a group of female MCs showed up together, talked, took a photo, and went home. 10 years later, in 1998, both Vibe and Double XL released their own sort of classroom photos for their magazine covers, though theirs were co-ed. Double XL recreated the iconic 1958 Art Kane photograph, A Great Day in Harlem, which was a snapshot of the greatest jazz musicians of that era for Esquire magazine. Double XL's photo was titled A Great Day in Hip Hop, shot by Gordon Parks. The photo spanned generations of hip hop artists from Kool Herc, Fab Five Freddy, Naughty by Nature, or should I say Naughty by Nature, all the way to Wu-Tang Clan, The Roots, and A Tribe Called Quest. A handful of women were included, including Debbie Harry, Da Brat, Heather B., Paula Perry, Queen Pen, and Nikki D. In the photograph, most of the women are huddled up. If you look in the back of the photo against one of the walls, you'll see most of the women in the picture are together, remembers Nelson George, who was in attendance that day. They kind of posseed up, and it was very interesting because that was a very male cipher, but it was also a really great day in light of all the shenanigans that had happened with female rappers. The photo shoot showed how much of a team they were, how supportive of each other they were, and how they were having a good time together. While no real rivals were present that day, it still was a moment where women found each other in a swarm of men. The cover of Vibe's Rap Reign's Supreme issue, on the other hand, had both Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown, still at the heat of a beef that had carried over from a year or two before, right after their solo debut albums dropped. Shot by photographer Lorenzo Aguis, the cover features Method Man, LL Cool J, Busta Rhymes, Master P, with a fold-out featuring Lil' Kim, Lauryn Hill, Missy Elliott, and Foxy Brown. Seeing both Kim and Foxy on a magazine cover side by side was a total surprise, especially since they hadn't been photographed together like that since their Source magazine cover in 1997. Per Aguis, I'm sorry, sir, if I am messing up your name, Kim and Foxy agreed to be in the same room together for the shoot, but had to sit far away from each other, especially during hair and makeup. The two sat on opposite ends of a long makeup counter about 15 feet apart. Some snide remarks were exchanged, even one involving potentially stealing the other's purse, but that was the extent of the beefing that day, at least. Sometimes a bit of rivalry leads to a better show. Girls trying to outperform each other is always a good situation, Agi says now, 20 years later. I don't know. His perspective is interestingly in line with Sparky D's take on her Class of '88 shoot. There was more to that day, though, than worrying if a fight would break out between Foxy and Kim. The real queen of the shoot was Lauryn Hill, he remembers. A very true point, since 1998 was Lauryn Hill's year. The nicest and most interesting was the amazing Missy Elliott, who kind of looked lost, but super cute, fun, and professional. Missy was just a year into her solo fame, coming off 1997 Super Duper Fly. Kim and Foxy were amazing too, working it. In the end, everyone was cool and professional and knew they had to deliver. Four very different ladies doing what comes naturally. The most dynamic aspect of that Vibe shoot was that Lil' Kim and Foxy Brown got into a room together at all, the same way Roxanne Shante and Sparky D had done 1 decade prior. They all had a similar goal and achieved it at a moment when most felt like it couldn't be done. Sometimes, though very rarely, emotions are put to the side. And it really is just about the business, at least for women. Take two male artists who are mortal enemies and ask them to smile for a photo. Would it happen? Probably not. Okay. So I'm so curious what kind of questions come up in y'all minds. What things do you remember about those years, respectively 1988, 1997, and 1998? And curious about, yeah, what do you remember? What woman in hip hop was blowing your mind at the time, or were all of them during those different decades? What do you think about this parallel in dynamics with women kind of being, not kind of, but being mortal enemies, having major beef, but coming into a room, being able to keep it professional and smile? Um, and also this double XL shoot, A Great Day in Hip Hop, where they all, huddle up together. Like, what does that just tell you about women in hip hop and about, I would say, even like what's required of women that isn't necessarily required of men, right? What does that say about what has been made possible because women were able to hold and maintain connections and relationships even when they have tension or beef going on? Do you know what I'm saying? Because organizing, community building, relationships do require sometimes the ability to hold more than just how you feel about it and your dominance in the situation, right? Or like proving that you're dominant, like, fuck that shit, I'm not gonna step on that stage or that photo shoot with that other person. I think for me, what it makes me think about is how many times I've seen women in hip hop, or I myself have gone into situations where people have absolutely disrespected me in profound ways. And my ability to almost like not almost, but absolutely compartmentalize. I'm running behind. I gotta get to my choir gathering, but to compartmentalize, like, I really am curious, and I'm curious what y'all think about this. But like, what is that about the way that women are conditioned and raised, socialized, that we could be in a situation, it makes me, I'm not going to bring it up, but we can be in a situation where we're in a room on a stage working on a project with someone who has harmed us, disrespected us, mistreated us, and show up and still be kind and smile. And I guess sometimes people say, oh, women are fake, but are we fake, or are we figuring out how to keep the peace and not compromise the bigger vision in order to move things forward, like set our feelings aside? And how much does that have to do with female socialization or what's expected of us in pretty much like every aspect of our lives? Those are a couple of thoughts, but I'm curious what y'all think about it. Let me know in the comments, if you would prefer every other Wednesday next year in 2026, or if you want like a Monday early bird special reading at the top of the morning. I could probably pull something off at like maybe 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. Eastern, 5 or 6 a.m. Pacific. That might be a fun thing for us to like look forward to doing together. And keep it locked. Next week, I have an incredible guest that I cannot wait to tell y'all about. A veteran, a queen, an architect, a mother, definitely to me as an MC. And I can't wait to share with you who we got coming on for an interview. And just keep it locked. Oh, and let me play a little bit of the Love Me All acoustic and show y'all. Oops, the volume isn't up. Hold it. So, my beloveds, where is it? We still have all the colors. We have the pink, the ultra purple, the periwinkle, the royal blue, and the I'm tripping. And the true purple. And let me turn this down. I just want to give y'all a taste. But we have this print. The print is, oh, I didn't put it up. My bad. Bink. This print, this beautiful print made by artist China Brown. On the back is a QR code that gives you that song that I just played, the Love Me All acoustic. You can also get the pink one, like I said, or the other colors. You can also buy them as a pack. This is the holiday season. A lot of y'all talking about fuck these billionaires, fuck their corporations that are trying to kill us and harm us. This is the perfect time to invest in small Black owned business, small women owned business, small Black women owned business, independent artists, entrepreneurs. I'm all of that. And this is also a great way to invest in art. If it's like your first time collecting art or you love a beautiful, small, but like limited edition piece, this is the one. It's $97 plus $20 shipment fee. And then you just get to see it, let it be beautiful, tell people how you got it, listen to the song attached to it. And it comes with a ticket to the listening party that I do online each week. And it's dope. Me personally. So make sure you collect your print for yourself. And also they make wonderful gifts. They're the exact size of a record player and you get so much in one gift. And of course you invest in me and what I got going, which is amazing for me and for all those who get to benefit from the platform and the movement that I am obsessed with and passionate about and invested in. So yeah. Until next week. Yeah.